I don't recognize the player against Fabiano, I must admit.
And to be honest, that was the case in the previous round as well. Bobby now is getting these probably underrated kids.
Do you think that Caruana's sitting there like, wait, where's Magnus? Where's Hikaru? When am I going to face them? Oh, never. If I keep winning.
The best chance he's ever had, Fabiano, of getting all those points and the tour and winning this week's Titled Tuesday. We join Magnus because he's pretty much in must-win territory for the rest of the tournament now. He's playing Lorenzo Lodici, an Italian grandmaster who had a big breakthrough at the World Cup recently. That's not Lodici. We'll get him up in a second. Lodici there beat Hans Niemann, beat Michael Adams, and was only stopped by Sam Sevian. Not going to be easy for Magnus here. And we see a Spanish opening of Roy Lopez that I'm pretty confident that this featured in your preparation in the 2013 World Championship match, this type of position.
I'm sure it did, but let's just say that there were certain things I was responsible for, and the slow maneuvering Spanish positions was not part of my responsibilities. We left that to the Fresses and the Michael Adams of the world.
You lucked out. These positions, they all look the same.
I just did all the Berlins.
Okay.
That sounds really fun.
I enjoyed it, but you have to have a certain personality to enjoy these things.
And in the meantime, Magnus might be enjoying this position. There was a hit on the black bishop indirectly. That gave Magnus the time to shatter black's pawn structure. The computer says it's still level, but in practical terms, with doubled f-pawns like this, weaknesses around the black king, it's not going to be possible to relax ever.
I really like Magnus's potential of sacrificing a pawn in the center in order to open up for his bishop to point against the black king. I think this could be a very nice plan.
Do you think Magnus is happy with how this opening has progressed?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A bit slower than usual, though, and he goes the other way with his knight instead.
The reason I thought maybe he wanted to sacrifice was because now after the trade with the bishop versus the knight, the white bishop will never really be able to point against the black king. But I mean, it's certainly an attack against black that Magnus is focusing on.
Okay.
Truth be told, I'm still terrible at drawing arrows, as you guys can see.
All right, so Magnus, he's actually spending most of his time right now trying to inform viewers of what he is up to. But let's hope he still has his focus on the game, because according to the evaluation, this is very even still. And I feel like if the two pawns on the left side of the board get traded off, is it realistic that Magnus wins?
I think so. As long as the queens remain on the board, it's very possible to win, even if all the pawns are on the same side, because of the weakness around black's king and the queen's ability to exploit those weaknesses. So if I'm Lodici, I would say maybe don't trade queenside pawns, because the black pawn is a bit more aggressively placed inside white's half.
Yeah, and he's playing really well here, Lodici. It looks like a classical game of chess here. Just really kind of principled moves. He's getting his queen in now. Watch out, that pawn that we just mentioned, threatening to advance due to a bit of a skewer. All those pieces kebabbed here on the second rank. Magnus, it feels like he's got no attack going and just having to move his pieces a bit back and forth here.
I agree. This looks like the most normal classical game that we've seen all day, and also breaking news from the classical world of chess is that world champion Gukesh, he has lost against Matthias Bluebaum. So that's always news when the world champion loses a game. Must be a lot of pressure to be facing, but could be also very interesting considering that Bluebaum is one of the candidates who might face Gukesh in a world championship match. So yeah. Exciting.
Big result for Bluebaum. And I was actually asking Hikaru at the end of his his qualifier to the candidates when he was playing these tournaments to get enough games for his rating qualifications. I specifically asked him if he would prepare for the candidates tournament differently, considering that players like Bluebaum, Yesipenko, and such are much lower rated than what kind of the candidates is traditionally contains. because I think the unexpected mix of the candidates field can become very, very intriguing, as opposed considering that the score needed to win might be larger than what we've seen in the past, because some players are, according to the ratings at least, quite considerably worse than the favorites in Hikaru and Fabi.
It's going to be very exciting. And it was so interesting that Blue Bomb said that he didn't have a second or a coach helping him during the FIDE World Cup, which he did so well in. So, but here in the Magnus game, there's been quite the development.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble. Maud, you mentioned getting rid of those queenside pawns. Magnus would love that right now, because somehow the black pawn has leveled up. It's one square away from promotion. For now, it's guarded. White's rook and bishop holding the door there. Maybe he's going to go around with his knight and try to win that pawn, but he still has to be careful. Only black can really be fighting for an advantage, you would think, although the clocks are getting a bit lower now. Yeah, it's gone wrong for Magnus. He's scrambling here for a draw. Maybe he'll get it, though.
He doesn't look very inspired when we look at his face.
Queen D. So this takes rook a2, rook g3.
And I also feel like that's not an inspired Magnus when he's just calculating out loud and sighing loudly. That's his mood right now.
I don't fully understand what he's thinking about, though, because he needs to move the queen and he needs to move the queen to protect the bishop.
Yeah, he was talking about rook takes pawn in that position with a counterattack, but he was scared of a trade of queens, the rook giving itself up, and at the very end of the variation, black would have emerged with an extra pawn.
But Lodici could have gone back with his rook to protect that pawn, and now he's just given it away.
Yeah, maybe Lodici wants the win. Smelling blood, clock times.
But he's the one with a weaker king position, no?
True. Maybe he believes his knight in the center, strong enough to fend off any threats. Brave decision either way. I think repeating once at least would have been a pragmatic decision, and now he decides he wants the queens off.
I don't know. Endgames in a time scramble with Magnus, I would be slightly concerned about.
But look, Magnus has less time. It's 20 seconds. How much is that worth?
Oof. 1 minute is worth a pawn, they say. 20 seconds, therefore, worth a third of a pawn?
Yeah, maybe. A third of a pawn's not going to help much here, but obviously Lodici's pawns are way worse than Magnus's.
Everything's protected, though, for now. Should be a draw with best play. But surely both sides have half an eye on the clock and want to flag each other.
Yeah, and Magnus, he can't have another draw if he's planning on winning this title Tuesday. He has 3.5 points right now. He has to win.
Yeah, and there we see he breaks the pawn structure. He's created a pass pawn of his own. It's come at the cost of some weaknesses. Watch out. Black's rook is going pawn hunting. Magnus taking some small risks. But now it becomes about calculation. Is the pawn quick enough?
I don't know. This looks scary for Lodici to me. And also, the time difference is becoming smaller and smaller. I would feel more comfortable about a 20-second time advantage if Magnus was down to 20 seconds himself. But they've almost equalized, and we're still having 50 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and checkmate threats, nets in the air here. If Black isn't careful, the White Knight still can't make its way around to deliver a check. Black Knight is coming back to maybe to defend.
Yeah, but he can't go back because then Magnus has this opportunity to flag winning a pawn.
And look at Lodici. Look how forward-leaning he is. He's very concentrated. He knows that he's not far away from managing something in this game, either a draw, and there's very few seconds left.
Lodici needs to take the central pawn. If he takes the knight now, I think he's getting flagged.
Oh, yeah, this is a horrible position to defend, even without the clock situation.
Very, very bad decision from Lodici, and he hasn't really appreciated the importance of time in the context of these Title Tuesdays. This is a position Magnus can play on for 100 moves. And even have legitimate chances to win because he does have an extra pawn now.
Magnus has never been the quickest on the mouse. Is he going to be quick enough? Oh, creating some threats. Lodici already on the brink. He blunders his pawn.
Oh, wow. A gift.
Well, it was already a difficult position to defend, I think.
His
real mistake was taking Magnus's knights. He needed to create some imbalance in order to get the position clarified within 50 moves.
Yeah,
Magnus didn't seem very happy with himself either. It seemed like that was a bit of a... He seemed a little bit less motivated.